It's Monday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the latest with me, Dr. Obiajilo in the building.
I'm right with you, baby.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Excellent morning, ladies. I had a good weekend.
You obviously did. I see your days just popping and glowing and everything. What happened? What happened?
I chilled out with the kids. They've finally gone back to school yesterday.
Yeah.
The house is back to the loneliness. Then we started our sales on Friday. I just forgot to mention on Friday. We started our hair sales at our shop. Is ending this Friday just for 1 week. So people who are interested in purchasing their hairs, you're getting it at discounted rates now.
Nice.
And I have a lot loading this week. I have some projects I need to sign off on this week.
Fantastic.
So it's a work week.
Fantastic. Even myself, I'm put out here this week. I'm here. I'm working all week. No outside.
No break.
No break. This week is full.
Yeah.
Chica in the building.
From Saturday to Monday.
Back to back.
We brought you in from Saturday.
Yeah,
You must join us
session
today.
has been so lovely. I'm so excited to be here
Yeah.
with you amazing ladies. Ladies that I watch and I look up like, wow.
Hi, how was your weekend though?
Love you.
Weekend was great. It was restful. I did the show on Saturday, like you know. My daughter wrote Jam on Saturday as well. So
Nice.
yes.
Hey,
So,
you
Someone
like
in the
this.
jam.
See Obiajulu feeling important because she has her Igbo sister. Look at her. You didn't have anybody to be speaking with. Now you're like all taking over. Okay, no problem. We give you.
and then Sunday was restful. I just slept in. The weather was very, fantastic. It rained.
Nice.
There was much expected rain. So, I just stayed in bed, movies.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a great week. Yeah.
Fantastic. Talk about how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. My PA, Islamiat, today is her birthday. She's been amazing. Very good spirits. We vibe, we connect. She's young.
You like her. That's Islamiat.
She has good energy. But on Saturday, I was speaking at the Limitless Women Conference. It was super successful. We had a really great time. The energy was right. So many, it's interesting to see smart people, and it also helps women to see other smart women. Because when you see that, you're inspired to believe that this is possible, and you hear stories, you're like, this person, myself, I finished with this, I can do this. So that was the energy I left there with. And then yesterday I came back home. I spent the night on the island. I came back home yesterday and I came back in the rain. I was wearing boo-boo and my shimmy under. My husband was in the car. My husband was like, this rain is so heavy. Let's say, and the guy said, Mark, I want to dance in the rain. I removed my
for real?
boo-boo,
Yes, ma'am.
entered the rain wearing my shimmy, and I was just dancing. I was like dancing. My mom now came and said, as you are dancing, remember to pray. That was how I changed it to prayer inside the rain. It was such a refreshing time. And I was asking my husband, I said, why didn't you just feel that moment? Like we used to do this when we were young, but we just get old and we forget about
Life
our
takes
child.
everything
to be
The inner child, nurture your inner child and have fun. I feel very that rain was a refreshing thing for me.
Don't worry, the next rain I'm
You will enter. Yes, our inner child.
Yes. I was in Ibadan for a party. If I had one in Delta State, but I couldn't make it. Honorable Stella Oketete. She was, I think she was 40, I believe. She invited me over. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry I couldn't make it, but happy birthday, happy belated birthday. But I attended Erelu Olajumoke's birthday, 50th on Saturday. It was a wonderful party. There was a NEPA issue, they had generator issues. And trust my Yoruba people, I love us. We had that party. In the heat, we stayed inside. In 2 good hours, we sat this party, we are going to chop. We'll finish it. Generator or no generator, all of us are like this, we're blowing ourselves. Ew. After a while, we carried our chair outside. We didn't leave, we stayed. 2 hours. Even Governor Washington came in the dark. The man was dancing, it was funny. Sunny Ade was there. Wow. We were all dancing. After dinner brought light, we all entered and the party started. And we were, I said, these Yoruba people. NEPA would not stop you from rocking the party. No, we stayed till the evening. So, I mean, congratulations to Ereludo. It was a wonderful party. And I'm really happy. Joining Mercies, everybody went there and got back home safely. Okay, so let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Aiyedatiwa declared Ondo APC candidate amid protests. Banks in frantic moves to put recapitalization plans on course. Alebioshu appointed acting MD CEO First Bank. Army vows to avenge killings of 2 officers, 4 soldiers in another ambush. Picture story here. Federal government set to roll out CNG-powered vehicles. Ekiti teachers to get 138 million naira car and housing loans. Editor's detention. NPO refers matter to media ombudsman. Okay, which story are we starting with?
The CNG buses.
Yeah.
Good news.
Whoop, whoop,
So
whoop,
the
whoop.
presidency has said it's set to launch about 2,700 compressed natural gas-powered buses and tricycles before May 29th, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be turning 1 year in office. He said the federal government was set to deliver 100 conversion workshops and 60 refueling sites spread across 18 states before the end of 2024. And the special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, was the one who revealed this in a statement he signed on Sunday, and he titled it Presidential CNG Initiative Set for Rollout. Now, he says, and I quote, "From the end of May, Nigeria will take some baby steps to join such nations that already have large fleets of CNG vehicles. All is now ready for delivery for the first set of critical assets for deployment and launch of the CNG initiative ahead of the first anniversary of the President's administration, May 29th. And they said, overall, they have 600 buses that are targeted for production in the first phase, which will be accomplished in 2024. In October 2023, they had about 5 months after the removal of petrol subsidy, which the president launched the Presidential CNG initiative, which was to deliver cheaper, safer, and more climate-friendly energy, also to help us, cushion the effects from this fuel.
Yeah, of course. I heard that it's cheaper, it's 70% cheaper than fuel price. I was seeing the advert. That would be huge if they're able to roll this out across the nation.
Yeah,
let me take the story concerning banks. So the banks are really getting nervous because they have an April 30th deadline for their recapitalization plans ahead of the deadlines. If you recall, the CBN had last month released a circular to review, for all the banks, to review the minimum capital requirement for commercial banks and non-interest banks. If you recall, the mega banks, they have about, the commercial banks will be 500 billion naira, commercial banks with national authorization, 200 billion naira, and commercial banks with regional license, 50 billion. So they have to have a minimum capital of these figures by then. They have a 24-month deadline to get the recapitalization done, but they must submit their plans to CBN by April 30th. So all of them are having strings of meetings and to ensure that they present their implementation work plan with details of how each bank intends to achieve its minimum capital requirements within the next 2-year timeline stipulated by the CBN.
All right, let me take the story from Ondo State. I was in Ondo 2 weeks ago. The conference I went to speak at, the governor spoke there, and while I enjoyed his speech and how, it was a very intelligent person, the gossips I heard from people on the street was, he cannot win. He's not a politician. He's a technocrat. He does not understand the political game. And I'm like, but this person that I'm seeing, why would he not win? Anyway, the election took place. There was violence in some places, which I am not happy about. There wasn't even an election primary within Ifedori local government area, but out of the 18 local governments, one did not have election. In one place, the Ilaje local government, won, and in the remaining 16 local governments, the sitting governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, was declared winner. And the result shows that people actually, what the gossips behind the scene might not necessarily be what plays out in reality. I'm cheering the Ondo State citizens on into the the proper state election, and ensure that they come out and vote who they desire, and then bring development, more development into the state. I'm already in love with Akure right now. I want to be going to Akure often.
All right, Chika, your story.
I have a story. This story concerns electricity supply. So right now, consumers are lamenting the declining, as we all can, attest to, declining electricity supply. Now, according to this report, more electricity consumers are supposed to move up to Band A category by the distribution companies. Now, this initiative is to ensure that more consumers enjoy electricity supply, though at a premium price. Now, the Band A belt tariff was on April 3rd increased to 225 naira per kilowatt hour from 68 naira per kilowatt. Now, consumers on this band are supposed to, I quote, enjoy a minimum of 20 hours of daily electricity supply. Band A customers represent 15% of the 12 million electricity customers in the country, which is about 1.8 million subscribers. However, those on other bands still maintain their tariff rate of 68 naira. Those are customers under the band B who enjoy 16 to 20 hours. Band C, they enjoy 12 to 16 hours. And then those in band D are those who actually get between 8 and 12 hours of power supply. Now, the very disturbing thing is that people are bringing up concerns that, are you sure, are we absolutely certain that this goes have the capacity to keep adding more people, more consumers on band A, seeing that even with the current numbers we have on band A, we do not get the 20 hours past that I was supposed to get, and we're paying a premium for. So there are growing concerns, you know, as to how this will pan out, even though, according to reports, they're adding more feeders to actually help with the distribution, yes.
Okay, moving on quickly now to The Punch. Emefiele social programs. Banks withhold 530 billion naira CBN funds. Cardoso may order refund. FG rolls out 2,700 CNG buses and tricycles. Motorist residents stranded as flood overruns Lagos and Ogun roads. Outrage over discrimination against Nigerians at Abuja Chinese supermarket. Kora shot Abattoir to probe poisonous meat allegation. Ondo poll Akinterewa, others protest as Ayedatiwa wins APC ticket. Army vows revenge after terrorists kill 6 soldiers. And FG probes $500 million local content loans and projects. Okay, let's take one story.
The management of an Abuja-based Chinese supermarket has come under fire for 9 Nigerians entry into the facility. Said the correspondence reports said that entry into the supermarket without any name inscription is restricted exclusively to individuals of the Chinese descent. So basically, if you're not a Chinese person, you cannot, you don't have access to the restaurant. They will block you by the gates. Even Punch sent their correspondents there to confirm on Sunday. They found out that they have started doing this since January 2024. People on Twitter are complaining about it, saying, how can you come into our country and then you are restricting us? We can't even try this in China. And so they are making reports to the relevant authorities.
Hopefully we are speaking with FCPP today, so hopefully we'll ask him that question.
I really wonder why they would put such...
How dare they?
He's our guest anyway, so don't worry, we'll talk about it. One more story before we go on a break.
Yes, the army troops. So we have the Nigerian army. They vowed that they were going to seek revenge. I felt a bit worried when I read the word revenge. But the director of the Army Public Relations, Major General Nwachukwu Onyema, said that the attack took place, killed 2 officers and 4 soldiers in Niger State, and the bandits had a deal. They were killed between Ruru, Karaga, and Rome's communities, Bassa ward, Shiroro local government area of the state, that's Niger State. And the residents of the area, knowing that it was a very sensitive thing, said that they found these soldiers the next day in the morning with bullets wound all over their body, that the soldiers lost their way while on a mission to combat bandits occupying the forest, and they were then ambushed by Boko Haram people. My heart goes out to the family of all those who lost their life, because if they don't do this, to the detriment of their life, we will not, people within Niger State wouldn't feel safe. And whatever we can do to support them, we must. So, yes, it might sound strange and very strong to use the word revenge against those that killed soldiers, but yes, we have to take out terrorism and prevent this from happening going forward.
All right, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Let's see another story. Who has a story in Punch?
All right, so I have the story concerning flooding. I mean, I went to a supermarket yesterday after church, and I mean, I was in church, so I wasn't privy to the extent of rain. Yes, came out, went into a supermarket. By the time I was out of the supermarket, it was flooded.
Wow.
So this is a huge concern. Now, according to reports in Punch newspaper, residents and motorists in several parts of Lagos and Ogun State on Saturday were left stranded due to the hours of intense rain, with major roads overrun by floods. Now, according to correspondents, they say the Agege, Akowonjo, Egbeda areas in Lagos and Mayegu Junction area of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, they had observed that motorists and residents were stranded for hours as a result of the downpour. So a lot of locations in Lagos are actually confronted with this particular problem. And even more worrisome is the fact that the federal government before now, 6 days ago, had written several governors to give them an alert that according to reports, impending flooding in 31 states is what is looming. Only 6 states were really, spared, from this list. That's not to say that they might not have issues with flooding, but according to the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, he said this while he was briefing journalists on the 2024 annual flood outlook for the country. So we need to prepare, is what he's saying. A total of 148 local government areas in Lagos, Kano, Delta, and 28 other states have been categorized as high flood risk areas. In this light, I really have to commend the Lagos state government, because right now they're working on the Abraham Adesoya all the way to the Eleko roads, and the huge gully of drainages that they are actually putting in place is so beautiful. It gives me peace of mind knowing that I do not think that in that access we would have issues with flooding on major ways, but we know that we also have a personal sense of commitment towards ensuring that we
it's a
clogging our canals,
both people
building on canals.
The rains we've
people
had
and the
so far
government
have been really, really heavy. There's a large, like when I felt the ground, I was like,
All right, let me take this story from Kwara State. So the government of Kwara State on Sunday ordered the temporary shutdown of the abattoir at the Mandates Market in Ilorin, following the alleged sale of poisonous cow meat in the market. The government, in a statement by the Ministry of Environment, ordered the immediate general cleaning and fumigation of the abattoir so as to cleanse the suspected meat poisoning. Really, really said, actually people really bought this poisonous meat. He said that the decision was part of the efforts to protect members of the public after a non-governmental organization, Kwara Monitoring Group, raised the alarm that meat from 33 cows, which allegedly died of poisoning, had found its way to the market sale for public consumption, and that was a really scary situation.
They decided to sell their dead cow.
This story reminds me too of some story on social media. I don't know if you saw it, where a catfish producer, her neighbor had gone to poison her fish.
Oh my Lord! And then she sold the fish.
She put it into the oven and roast, and of course she was going to sell it.
She didn't know now.
Why do we? No, she knew that it was poison because if fish all
in her
died,
mind, the heat would have. She wants to lose the money. Daily Sun, very quickly, ex-governor Bello, EFCC, waits on court. Hands off Kanu's case, IPOP tells Justice Nyako. New Nigeria possible with right leaders in government, Obi tells diaspora Nigerians. Nigeria set to receive $2.25 billion World Bank loan, says Wali Edun. 180 bodies found in mass grave at hospital in Gaza. We generated over 22 billion naira in a day, says on customs. NDLA arrests 3 wanted kingpins, seizes 51.90 kg heroin. NPO, BON, civil society faults use of force by military on civil cases. And Reps Deputy Speaker, Igbo youth celebrates Kalu at 64. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay.
In the Daily Sun.
NP, the Nigerian Press Organization, that's the NPO, and the Broadcast Organization of Nigeria, that's BON, and all the civil society groups have yesterday faulted the use of excessive force. According to them, civil cases should be handled by the Nigerian police force. But we've seen in recent times that people would involve military officers, so they called it militarization of civil issues. The statement was signed by many, a lot of all the NGOs, many press organizations, NUJ, NPAN, everybody that is involved in the broadcast industry signed it. And according to them, the military authorities said they acted to forestall a potential threat to national security that will have been reported. They will have reported the matter to the national media Complaints Commission Ombudsman. So there's an issue that involved the media where the military was used. The Defense Intelligence Agency requested a meeting with the NPO and Bond to resolve the issue, but they still feel like beyond the issue that happened within the media space, there are several other cases that happen outside that has no business. It's civil. Police should be the one to handle it, and the military end up using excessive force, hurting people in the process of a civil matter that could easily be resolved. So I'm joining voices with the NPO and the BON to say that let Nigerians stop dragging military into civilian cases and let the military also confine themselves to dealing with what they are meant to deal with.
Okay, any other story?
So the federal government is set to receive around 2.2 billion single-digit interest loan from the World Bank and another budget supports facility from African Development Bank. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, was the one who disclosed this at a briefing at the end of Nigeria's activities at the World Bank International Monetary Fund Spring Meeting, which happened in Washington, D.C. And he said the sources of international funding for Nigeria so far has been the diaspora remittances, foreign portfolio investments, and facilities from the World Bank and other international development partners. He says we have qualified for the processing just this week to the board of directors of the World Bank of a total pack of 2.25 billion of what you can call the closest you can get to a free lunch, virtually a grant. It's for about 10 to 20 years moratorium and about 1% interest rate.
Wow.
You know, this is what we've been saying, that you don't give us loans and then put a lot of interest rates. While we're still struggling to pay back the loans, we're struggling to pay back the interest. It seems like we're not getting anywhere. But for us to get a loan that's almost free, you know, we just need to pay back the original amount we've got. I think
and you get those kind of grants when the country, people see that, okay, they're making certain decisions.
Yes.
People
The
say,
policies
okay, policies are
favorable.
Yeah, so definitely they'd like to give you money. So the spokesperson for IPOB, Mr. Ima Powerful, in a statement yesterday, accused Justice Binta Nyako, that's the Abuja High Court judge, to redeem herself, image and hands of their leader's case. According to him, he's saying he's accusing her that she's made herself an interest in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case instead of being a non-partisan and unbiased judge. A judge that has no control over her court should not handle a high-profile case like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Justice Binta, according to him, should redeem herself and recuse herself or step down from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case because she's already compromised and controlled by those who sent her because of her political. And these are just accusations, but this is based on Ima Powerful's allegations. Moving on quickly now to Vanguard. Top manufacturers list woes, incur 266 billion naira losses in a year. Intrigues as new Ganduje Ward ESCO emerges, suspends national chairman. Nigeria set to receive fresh $2.2 billion World Bank loan, says Edun. PDP, why Wike was allowed into National Caucus meeting. Ondo Guba, protests as 4 APC aspirants call for primary cancellation. And DIA versus Olatunji, NPAN, NGA, NPO, Obo and others refer dispute to Ombudsman. I think we're taking most of the stories in this paper. Let's move on quickly to, unless there's a story that I've not taken.
I have a story concerning organ trafficking, organ harvesting rather. So in Abuja, there's an ongoing case involving the Alliance Hospital and Services Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Christopher Otabo, and 3 others who allegedly were involved in organ harvesting. Now, the House of Rep Committee on Public Petitions has ordered the defendants to go back to court and defend themselves. This was contained in a statement by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, according to the communications officer yesterday. Now, this statement said it will be recalled that NAPTIP had arraigned the 51-year-old Dr. Christopher Otabo and 3 others before High Courts in the FCT for alleged organ kidney harvest on March 18, 2024. Now, those who were mentioned with him are Emmanuel Olorunlaye, Chikodele Ugochukwu, and Dr. Aremu Abayomi. So now they've been ordered, even though they're currently on court bail, the defendants have been ordered to report to NAPTIP headquarters and surrender their travel documents to court.
All right, our final paper this morning, Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. I think the NDLEA, who has that arrest 3 wanted drug kingpins, intercepts Oman-bound drug consignment. Let's just take that story.
Yeah, so first of all, the NDLA went ahead to warn travelers who are busy taking luggages for other people because they found this 2 PhD students. One had helped the friend to, take his luggage, only for them to find that he was conveying some codeine. packed inside. And so they said, you must be very careful. Then they have been tracing these 3 kingpins, which they had finally, arrested. It said they specialize in illicit drug trafficking across Nigeria, South Africa, Mozambique, Europe, America. And, they have seized them. Single largest consignment of heroin at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, a total of 51.90 kilograms of heroin recovered from members of the drug cartel in an operation. They started this operation from February 10 at Sako Import Shed of the airport's cargo terminal. And they said the consignment was concealed in 15 cartons of 2,300 watt metal cutting machines with no less than 45 blocks of illicit substance weighing 49.70 kilograms from the equipment. They also went ahead to give a list of other people that they have arrested.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Somebody said life is like a bus. You never know who you're going to sit down next to. So we got a story from the Lagos State Bus Service. I got this message actually from Mr. Apolabi Olawale. He sent me the video about some proposal that happened in the bus. So what happened was that, according to the story, a guy and a girl always use the Lagos State Bus Service. And they became friends on the bus and, always hanging out, and people just knew them together on the bus. And then he proposed to her on the bus, and he planned it with the Lagos State Bus Service people, and they had this nice proposal. Please watch this clip to see what we're talking about. When I was watching the video, I was saying, I have to ask you guys, does real love still exist? We always have this thing like, people love for different reasons. Young people fall in love for either material things or because I want to just settle down, or there's pressure from home. There are different reasons, but this is just so pure. And I'm thinking, does this really exist, Chika?
It looks pure. I mean, the moment is beautiful. First of all, I have to say that natural ladies are winning, because when I looked at the girls' physio, I said, okay, all these people are doing fake here. Nothing for you. It's like single ladies are winning, number one. But really and truly, I feel like our parents had it better. When I look at people whose marriages are seemingly doing well, when people say, oh, we've been together 57 years, 37 years, 84, it's usually people not from my generation and lower. So I know that in this time and age, it's really hard. This generation, this age makes it hard to really come true and come clean as you are, and come into a union where the intent is really to preserve the union of marriage. But the moment is beautiful.
Chika, baby, I disagree with you. I disagree. I put it to you. That's not true.
Hey.
In fact, I felt like tearing up when I saw these people. And not everybody would have that story, but there are a few people that have the story. And some of us on this table actually have that story. So let's not discredit it. There's real love out there. It's just, if you're fortunate to find it, and that's fine. And if you're not fortunate to find, it's okay. It may not be for you. But there are people.
But the way you have, manage it. The way you have, just take it.
I don't believe in
Just take it.
Yeah, I don't believe in
The way you have, just take it like that.
You can stay if you want to, but me, I don't believe in managing. However, there's real love. And it just shows that we can still find happiness in the simplest of things. Like you rightly mentioned, she didn't have any iha done or any special iha done. And when we were picked to have married too, we did not have any hair done. We were barely able to wear weave on at the time, but we found that person. So I think it's just for us to put the message out there that you can be yourself and still find that person that is for you. And because it's so beautiful at the end does not mean it will end beautifully. Let's also not get carried away with all the mushy and feel.
But I mean, it's
me,
so,
they never proposed to me. I'm still going to hold that man. 20 years, he's going to kneel down for me.
but I mean, meeting somebody on a bus in 2024, it's like, you know, young girls today, if I'm on the bus, you're just minding your doing your business. You don't want to meet anybody on the bus because you feel like, I don't want to meet, I'm targeting something higher, not even a bus companion. But for somebody who you would enter a bus with and you fall in love with him, this is, I mean, it's such a sweet love. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, may this last forever. But somebody, how did you see this? Because a lot of young girls today would rather not talk to somebody on the bus with them.
Yeah. Well, I believe that we should be open. Live your life open, you know. Many times we have created boxes and we have caged ourselves away from our blessing. You know, we have caged ourselves away from
I must find them in church. I must find them
we have caged ourselves from, it's not going to happen in the bus. It's not going to happen. There's no rule. I don't feel there should be any rule concerning where love can happen, where opportunities can happen, where jobs can happen. Open up your mind. Break out of the cage and expect that opportunities can happen anywhere. So I met my husband inside Orange Bank.
Orange Bank. They're counting money now.
Yes. That bank that has orange box like this.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I met him inside the bank. I met him in the bank. We had a conversation, pen. He left before me. I came outside. I saw him.
Waiting for you?
And that's how we married.
Is it like?
It was a very random meeting. And anything can happen.
Anyway.
Just be open. And there should be no limit on, he doesn't have a car if he's taking the bus. What if he has a car and he packed it to take the bus?
What if he doesn't?
What if he doesn't have a car and you guys marry and immediately you marry like this, pew, everything just skyrockets. Well, let's not put any box into how things should go. Let's not put a cage to what life would look like or what the relationship would look like. I am extremely grateful to God that this was captured. So that it's not when they put flowers. You know when they do those love, they will now use flower to do love. They will now decorate the entire auditorium for the proposal. So girls are now expecting that my fiancé must do the same decoration. But here we are seeing love. We are feeling it even inside the bus.
But I also think that this speaks to what can happen, the possibilities that can happen when we continue to improve and upgrade our bus systems. This thing cannot happen. I don't think it can happen in Danfo or Korokpe.
You'll be surprised.
I don't think so.
You'll be
Because
surprised.
abroad,
He's a very
all
tush
walks
boss.
of life enter buses and trains. So you
And
can
he's
see a quality man on a bus and on a train. But here, this happened because it's in a Lagos bus. That's what I think.
No.
He's
In
a
a
Lagos
Lagos
tush
bus.
boss.
Don't say that.
No, but the girl looks like a
Our
very...
husbands were taking Korope now. When did they have money that they started buying cars?
Will you,
They were
as you are now, if you are not married, you look at
No,
somebody
as
that
I
is in
am
a
now.
Korokpe.
See, that girl is young and I cannot be comparing her to me. As I am now.
You don't have private jets back there. Private PJ.
That's me at that age.
Yeah.
So my eyes were focused on the beautiful things of
And the
life.
potential.
I was thinking of all the
But see, but
love
look
that.
at the guy.
There are girls this age that are not focused on the real things, that are focused on the superficial things.
That's the problem.
There are girls that at this age are looking at BC and looking at me and looking at you and looking at Chika and
want to
feeling
be here
like
right now.
this is what I want. My husband
Or
was able
nothing.
to give me this life.
But
when
guys,
this might be what
let's
they
not
need.
paint Cinderella story yet because that guy looks very clean. Look at his haircut. She look at the length of her weave last one. So it's not be cheap.
It's rubber. That wig is rubber.
Hey,
I can identify it. I'm just telling you. Should we grow into wearing this style that I'm wearing? There's time for everything. We wore rubber too.
Yeah.
There's time for everything.
See how long it is. I mean, she looks like she's doing pretty well.
No, the truth is, you don't necessarily have to be the richest in the world to be clean.
No.
We advise
Package yourself.
realtors that you don't have to, it's not in the volume of clothes you have. It is in how you package those clothes.
True.
Iron your clothes, look neat, be cleanly shaved, of which a guy is going to propose. Of course, he would have cut his hair and shaved his beard and be looking his best
And look good.
self. But if it wasn't looking good, conversation probably will not start. Uncle, you want to tell somebody your mouth is oozing. Open your mouth to talk, the person turns away. Sometimes being well-groomed makes it easy for conversation to start somewhere. Oh, you smell so nice because you actually took the time to use a perfume.
And
So somebody can compliment it. Deodorant, little
this
things.
can-
So those things can happen.
Yeah, this can also help single men who are looking for beautiful young girls. Lagos State Bus Service is a place you find beautiful. I mean, it is a because
Park your car.
so they park your car. You will see those nice innocent girls. They're just walking,
It falls back
living
to
their
what I
life.
say.
Because
Because
if
if
you
you
look
park my car and go and enter
No, but if you
because
meet
the
them-
stench from people who ride
And that's
buses like
correct.
that
But
is
this is-
ridiculous.
and this
That's
is
what I'm saying.
Lagos.
So as we continue to improve our transport, imagine if we had like proper trains who that navigate
Yes.
VIP.
People be proposing.
We have trains
You'll
now.
meet
We
people
have
of that.
trains
Okay.
now.
That's
So
the
we're
level.
But I love
advising-
what you said
Yes.
about packing your, because sometimes we don't, where we meet people also influences the kind of people we will meet. So if you are always around high flyers or superficial people, maybe based on work or based on where you hang out, you are meeting them and you're complaining, all girls are superficial, all girls are, they like money too much. It is where you are going to pack your bus, enter BRT. I mean, park your car, enter BRT. You might just meet that
For
girl
this
that
love
is
that we're
still,
looking
because
for.
there are many girls that are very grounded,
find them.
but you are just not where they are. So you
Yes.
might need to come down and meet them, because if that's what you're looking for, you find them where they will
You
be.
sit down. They're probably going to church for midweek service. They're going to. You just see them. They look. This one look a pretty girl like this.
Now, they say people when they go church, they go club.
Yeah, so obviously, Lagos State Bus Service is a destination for love. You can try it. You never know. You find some good innocent girls.
Destination for love.
You know.
Train station, La
They're
Mata.
looking for second husband, second wife. You can try it also. La Mata, go there, you see. I think it was just fun for us to just check the
Lighter
video
Monday
and lighter Monday story. But let's go on a short break. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Still celebrating this Monday, and we're going to be talking about the Nigerian chess master, coach, and founder of Chess in Slums, Chess in Slums Africa, Tunde Onakoya. He has set a remarkable achievement of breaking the Guinness World Record for 58 hours of non-stop chess. We celebrate his dedication, his focus, and passion for the game. According to him, the idea was to do this to raise money for those who couldn't afford a better life. And we had to say congratulations to Tunde Onakoya. I mean, he made Nigeria proud over the weekend, where he was able to break the Guinness record for 58 hours. I think the record at the time was 56 hours. And he was able to break it by 58 hours. Trust Nigerians were there to celebrate with him. And of course, that led me to go and, even because I've known about Tunde Onakoya, but I never really paid enough attention to him until this happened, and I had to go back and read, and his story is such a profound story. But let me come to you. What are your thoughts on the celebration, its achievements? How did it come across to you?
This is a man who had a vision, which was to help vulnerable kids to come out of poverty by playing chess. And he started working on that vision. He started following up on that vision. He did not relent at any point. He did not give up at any point. I'm sure if you have a conversation with him, he will tell you some of the challenges he faced to even get children to the point where they are playing chess. But he kept on it. And, you know, deciding to do the Guinness record is also a way of putting himself on the map, so that now he can have access to help even more people. This is an inspiring life and an inspiring journey, in the sense that success, somebody told me recently that success is not just for you. When God is blessing you, it's not just about you. You should be thinking of the people you want to impact with that blessing. And this is where, you know, that's what just blew my mind with this Onakoya story. It's not just about me. I just want to gain this recognition for myself.
Yeah.
I'm gaining this recognition for myself and for the benefit of the many thousands of children that I'm going to be helping out there. This is a very fantastic one. And I love the fact that Nigerians came out in their droves to support him, sing his praises, encourage him. Nigeria, when it comes to things like this, we
carry our
we
business
did-
back.
Chika,
I
your thoughts
especially
on-
love two things for me. His humble beginnings. I'm a lover of grass to grace stories. It just shows me the resilience of the human spirit, the Nigerian can-do spirit. I also, my entire life is a story or a testament of grass to grace. And not that I'm saying that I'm at the epic or the epoch of my...
Yeah,
you know,
we're all on a journey.
Yes, exactly. So that is very inspiring for me. This is somebody who started out learning chess at a barber shop in Ikorodu. You know, that's just so sweet to me. And the fact that his mom at some point couldn't pay his school fees, and so he had to stay home for a bit, you know, after finishing primary school. And most importantly, the fact that an overlooked sport is now bringing or garnering global attention, especially within our spheres right here. That is so, so, so intriguing to me. It just says to me that sometimes everybody is focused, laser focused on just one thing and one thing only. If you want to make money, you have to be involved in tech, or you have to be involved, you have to be a doctor. You have to jackpot and go and do medicine abroad. Who would have thought that something that somebody genuinely had a passion for, saw it through to the end, would bring him so much recognition, would create so much impact in the lives of less privileged children like this.
Right.
And so this is a wake-up call to, you know, pretty much everyone. You know, that one thing that you love so much, it easily can be monetized. It can set you before kings. You just need to stay steadfast and continue on that path.
What are your thoughts on this achievement?
Well, my initial thought was, he's going to be 30, he's under 30. This is a very young person.
28 years old, yeah.
Yes. No,
It's going to be 29 this year.
it was 29 last year.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, go
October
ahead.
last year was 29. It will be 30 in October this year. I loved the fact that you see, we talk a lot about success, but we're not talking enough about significance.
Yeah.
And he has chosen, it's not about even grass to grace like wealth, but he has chosen a path of, I want to make impact. I want to be a significant person. And as a young person, thinking in that line must be encouraged. Because if we increase that line of thought and reduce the line of thought of let's just make money, kinshati lowo, anyhow, I want to just make money, we will start changing what we see as a trend among young people in Nigeria now, where we see people going into internet fraud just to make money, going into money rituals just to make money, and feeling like it is only when I make money my name will be heard. It is not only by making money that your name will be heard, or you'll be respected, or you will be applauded. It is not by making money. You can also make impact, and you'll be respected on a bigger scale. You'll be applauded on a bigger scale, and money will follow at the end of the day. Yeah. So I am celebrating today for choosing a life of significance. I'm celebrating today for pursuing his life interest without letting anything hold him back. And yes, Nigeria gathered to support. It's a lie when you think that nobody will support you when you want to do your thing. Your dream is not big enough. If your dream is truly big enough, people will support it.
Yeah.
I feel like he showed us that, and we've seen several of them. So there are more Guinness Book of Records to be broken. Go and find your own and break it.
You know what I loved the most about Tunde's story is the grass to grace, grass to grace. Is it right?
Yes,
grass to grace story, because his father was a downfall driver. His mother was bent down select. They didn't have anything. Eventually, the father was driving taxi. His father had to sell his taxi to put him through school. Just like you said, his mother didn't have any money. She offered her son to go to a school that she would serve them for free. She would be their cleaner for free, just to get him an education. He's the first child. I think there are 2 boys or 3 boys. And he has adopted children also who have adopted his own name. And he wasn't speaking well enough. You know, his father said he wanted him to be speaking English like all these other people did. And this is the one, he came from the poorest of the poor. There were 20 families living in his face to where he was living. They were sharing one toilet, 20 families. That's his foundation. He went to school, the small knowledge, and it was that barbershop you said that he learned this chess. He was seeing them play chess. Now asked Bros B to teach him how to play. And from learning that, gradually, he began to get involved in competitions. Small competition, they give him 10,000 naira here, 2,000 naira here. So, you know, but you see, the point is that even in his small milestones, small success, he was thinking of where he's coming from.
Impact.
He was thinking, how do I teach my people this stuff that isn't giving me 10,000 naira?
to liberate
How can I
them.
teach one of those people who I'm coming from to liberate them? And that's what he did. And that's how he started. And when he realized that people were now depending on him, he needed to go out more. But you see, what I wanted to take more from this story, a lot of young people just want to leave the country. And the things that you cannot be, what they call that thing, you can't be a lizard in Nigeria and become an alligator. It is what is the impact you do here, is the resilience you build from wherever it is you are here. That saves you wherever you are, even in Nigeria or outside. So it's that thing in him that caused him that, you know what, I'm going to be great. He entered play for the first time in 2022 in his entire life. This is a man that
he had been on record for several years before then. So that's like
so it is that dream of, we have to amplify the story, because this is somebody who was the last 5-6 years ago, he was just trying to struggle, he was struggling.
And now he's breaking records.
He's global.
He's doing interviews, global interviews. The journey is sweet to applaud now. But I love the fact that Mariah took the time to break down how bad it was.
Yes.
Because when you don't know how bad it was, you feel like
you won't appreciate
the worst person. You are the one facing the greatest battle in the world. It's a lie. You still have much more than the people, and it doesn't write yourself.
So the reason why I'm so passionate about it, because every young person I meet is on their way out. Because they feel it's until they leave that there's success. But the truth is that in the little thing you are doing here, you are consistent about it, and you are impactful. What's that word you use? Significance. Making it very significant. Somebody, you will be noticed. You will be, because a lot of people are doing things that are significant anymore. People are doing a lot of flashy things. But if you focus on your own thing and do it, you will pop.
So one thing is, everybody cannot be great at this level.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
True.
Some people have their path cut out for them, that they have to go through a certain childhood to be able to get to where they're going to. For other people, they may have to sit back and find that thing. So the advice to the young people is, find that thing. Even while Jesus was trying to do all the miracles and the prophets in the Bible, there's always one question that he kept asking. What is that in your hand? Everybody here has a gift. What is your gift? Find it. Sit down with yourself and find that gift. And sometimes the gift may seem silly. Imagine him coming to barber shop to be playing chess every day, and they are not chasing him to go and wash plates. You see, it's chess you want to play. Your mates are doing mathematics. Your mates are doing this. Your mates are doing that. But find that thing that you're passionate about, stick to it, and it will come. Unfortunately, we are raising children who do not have passion, because life is now so easy for them. They have everything at their beck and call, and they can't even sit down and think. You know, sometimes I used to ask myself, if I grew up with so much toys, I wouldn't have been able to hone the sort of skills that I have today. Because then I'm playing with this. Once I do like this, they are giving this to me. My help is giving this to me. And I won't be able to look within and decide, okay, let me create kites to fly. Let me create butterfly to do this. Let me create that. So we too are spoiling this generation. They have everything at their beck and call. They are always on this gadget. There was something Tope said last Friday, saying if you are always on this gadget, you may not be able to create this sort of gadget for other people to be on. There's a person where they dance, no, they watch. Your job is to perform. You can't be performing and watching the crowd. You perform, and then the crowd will watch you. So let's begin to re-educate ourselves and the young people around us. What is that thing you have in your hand? And it's okay if you want to travel. It's also fine. You never can tell where your miracle is or where you can break it. But do you have the capacity to break it, whether you're here or there, is what we should be focusing on.
And I think final thought on the matter as well, I think it's very important that we all appreciate the fact that nothing is guaranteed, you know, in spite of how high we dream, you know, and we keep tugging at it. We would need to, everyone would individually for themselves have to frame what greatness is for them. For someone like me, greatness is not becoming the richest person in the world. Greatness is not having a white picket fence. What greatness is for me is that I am able to live a peaceful life. I'm able to impact those around me such that I leave a lasting legacy. And when my name is spoken, it's warm thoughts that come to mind. That's for me is what greatness is. Being able to take care of things that I need to take care of, you know, being able to have that freedom to actually go when I want to go, and just being comfortable, but also seeing the people around me thrive as I thrive. So this is not to say, just like you said, that because he has won, now everybody should not buy that chest. And it doesn't.
Find your own. But you know, another thing that inspired me about Tunde's story was he had a health condition. I didn't even realize guys, I found out this morning that he had they had a hip surgery. So when he was born, a nurse gave him a wrong injection. That caused some kind of, I don't know the medical term right now.
Yeah.
Now he has serious pain every single day.
Yes.
And they told him that he might not have a long time to live. So he's trying to impact the best. But thankfully, he was able to do some surgery, I think last year or so, that bought him 20 years, at least, because he was living every day in pain. So he felt that, God, am I the only person in poverty and then this daily pain? And the pain was so unbearable. But and as a poor person, he had to just endure the pain. But now that he's able to do a surgery, he was able to, they bought him about 20 that can work for 20 years. Hopefully, not 20 years.
Have to
technology might have been improved for him to be better. But this hip surgery he did, so this is the man that I was really moved.
Not just grass. Grass, it's pain.
Pain.
You turn your pain to purpose.
Family now disappeared. Brother went this way, daddy went that way, mother went because if you are in poverty, everybody fend for yourself.
For yourself, yeah.
So he was just by himself, fending for himself. And this is now he's in New York, Times Square.
And
stage.
everybody, all the news, yes. They say the gift of a man makes room for him. But many of us don't. Many people, like Bisi said, we don't know the gift in our hands. And the gift in your hands, you can discover it in different places. Today discovered his own gift in the barber's shop. You might discover your own by volunteering somewhere. Just be open to all the options available to discover your gift. Because when you discover it, that's when God will make room for you in Times Square or in whatever square that God has desired for you to be. We had Pelumi meet the governor, get a handshake. We had Hilda, Basi. We've had several people, and we're giving an example because this person broke record. So there are other places where people are making significant impact.
God bless you.
There's no better place to make impacts than in a country as bad as the challenges Nigeria is facing. So God has put you here for a purpose, because the problems here, you have the unique ability to solve these problems.
The challenges
if you find your gift, you will shine here. There's so much darkness.
The only person I want to see right now are his parents. I would love to interview his father and his mother. These are the two people I would love your view to interview, because I want to know what they're thinking, what's going through their mind, the sacrifices they've made. You know, this is a woman that was willing to clean for free a school. I'll wash your toilet. Just make sure my child is educated. Father in heaven.
Sacrifice.
I need to see that woman.
Sacrifice.
That is all we can take on this segment. Congratulations again to Tunde Onakoya, the entire chess family in Nigeria. Congratulations to you. And we thank I heard that he was able to raise over 130 million. 130 million naira so far. And hopefully we can do what we can do to even support him further. All right, let's go on a break now. We'll come back more to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So there was a video that caught our attention about a man who was accusing a store in Abuja, a Chinese store actually in Abuja, for restricting Nigerians' access to the store. Watch this clip and you see what we're talking about.
Wonders shall never end. There's this supermarket I saw online. It's a Chinese supermarket. They have like Chinese stuff inside, food, ramen, and other things. So I wanted to go there and check it out. And on going there, they told me at the gate, the security people told me the supermarket is strictly for Chinese people. If you are a Nigerian, you cannot go inside. You cannot buy anything. This supermarket is there in Abuja, in Nigeria, and a Nigerian cannot enter. This is a joke. So that means the Chinese guy has more rights than you here in Nigeria, because he can enter anywhere he wants, everywhere. There's no place that he cannot enter. But you, there's a market you cannot enter. It didn't shock me. I recorded a video, but because it was by the road, there was so much noise, so I had to do this other video. Let me show you the place. You see, that's the gate, and that's the supermarket. Wahala. So I'm going back to our local supermarket because they say I cannot enter. Here in Abuja, me a Nigerian, I cannot enter a place. Go and try this in China and see. Open a place and say citizens not going to enter.
Right. So this is based on this man's account. Although when I read a few comments under him, somebody said that they've been to that same store and they've had given them access. Although I know from your own report, you said that this started January 2024. So it might be a new policy they have. But what are your thoughts on this? Because could there be reasons, or would you agree? Would you disagree? What are your thoughts? Who wants to go first?
It's very obvious that it comes across, it rubs you wrong. That's what I'll say. It rubs you wrong that you're a citizen of a country and you cannot approach a business. But the truth is there are gated areas everywhere that you need permission to enter. That's life. There are places, even in Nigeria, that as a Nigerian citizen you cannot enter. You can't enter at Paso Rock. There are some people's buildings that you cannot enter. They have everybody has parameters for admission into my space. So this business has said that the parameter for entry into my space is this, so and so. Like I said, it rubs wrong, but is it wrong? As according to law, we will find out according to law. You cannot come to my house and say, oh, my house, I cannot enter. This person said, this is my supermarket. My supermarket is only for these people. There are restaurants in Nigeria, they'll say, if you don't wear suits, you cannot enter. You cannot enter this place with slippers. You cannot enter. People have parameters for what brings you in. There are some banks, if you don't have this amount of money to deposit, you cannot enter. So there are stage people in life, and it's allowed that these people can, you can buy this building and say this is what is allowed in this place. There are private clubs. Okay. And you say only registered member of this club can access this place. There's a beach front, and they'll say only those that are registered. So there are different layers to this thing. But as a Nigerian approaching a supermarket and feeling like I want to enter, somebody says because you're not a Chinese cannot enter, it will rub wrong. Okay. So we'll wait for that.
It rubs wrong. And it is wrong. My nationality in my country should not disenfranchise me from getting access to a place. If you had said, okay, if you are not putting on suit as a Nigerian, you cannot enter, we need you. There are clubs that I belong to where you have to dress corporate to enter. You can't wear slippers and all of that. But they are not stopping me from entering because I'm a Nigerian. Because I'm a Nigerian. I'm in Nigeria. This is my home country. You can put your parameters for other things. Okay, you have to look neat. You have to, come looking package and all of that to be able to access this because of the type of environment that we want to, create and be consistent with. You cannot be allowed, we cannot allow you to come in anyhow you want. That's a different thing than telling me I cannot enter a place in my home country because I am from that country that has given you the opportunity to set up that business. It rubs wrong, and it is wrong. This is where the government needs to step in. We cannot go and open a place in a place like China and tell the Chinese residents that or citizens that they cannot enter in a place in their country because they are from China. What? It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know what has happened in the time past for them to have made that decision, but that's a very rash decision to make in the country. And they have made that decision because they feel like the government may not be able to do anything about it. We have to prove them wrong. And according to the security, I took the story in the papers, the security person said they had stopped that from January 2024. This is April. That's 4 months down the line. They have been stopping Nigerians from getting access into that place. The government needs to investigate what has happened and tell them they cannot do that. They should look for other parameters, not disenfranchise people from being...
Do you think, Chika, it's fair for us to ask them why? Because it's possible for... There could have been a reason, the reason what that led to this decision. What are your thoughts?
It's important to hear them out because I'm out of curiosity, not because that will in itself, make it better. It's a bad situation that should never happen, my thoughts. And I think this speaks to a larger or broader truth. It's a tiny speck in the grand scheme of things as to how our country, because of stories like this, can be perceived as a country where anything flies, where legislation isn't strong enough to say, look, we're not a dump country where people can come and do as they choose. So I honestly feel that certain legislation should be put in place when we're accepting businesses, from outside of our own spheres. Certain legislation needs to be set, in stone. Checking quality of what we bring into the country. checking that other expatriates do not have an upper hand and even try to make us feel like we in our own country were like the less privileged or that we have lesser rights. We've seen so many incidences where certain expatriates do ridiculous things and they seemingly get away with it. And that is not a narrative that I feel that we should be projecting as a country. So this story speaks to a broader story of why really, like you said, the government should be involved and we need to nip it. We can't nip it in the bud, but whatever stage it has gotten to, we absolutely have to nip it.
Yeah, but again, just looking at it, I said, I would love to really hear from the organization because this is a fairly new policy. I mean, I think there was somebody was sending a message in the tweet was saying that she bought something there last year. I mean, certainly. So it happened. There was a reason. Maybe it's an interim measure to achieve certain things. We don't know yet. It would be great for them to at least see us important enough to respond to these allegations because I don't know why they have not responded. But it's been at least 48 hours this news broke. You expect that they will take it enough seriously to respond.
I am sure you will hear some stories. It's sad. Generalization is wrong. Yeah. But there are some things that, even you as a Nigerian now, people have done some things. We need to tell ourselves the truth. We might not like it when, we will tell ourselves, we don't like it when another person from outside is the one telling us. But we must have done something. We go to places and you'll be wondering, what happened? We had access to these countries before. Do you know ordinary Seychelles? Nigerians are not accepted in Seychelles. This is not one about a country where people used to go and do wedding and just do vacation. Why? Nigerians went and do something. They have done something. Now, I understand business perspective that that's their own country.
That's their own country
territory. But when you've already bought
You reject me.
I bought the land. Once I fence that land, is my territory.
I carry the land to your country.
And you can then evacuate me and my business from the place. But when I bought land and I fenced the land, I can say, in this my
land. But
there
are rules of
I don't want
business in every country.
Okay, that's why I say we need to find out if it is illegal. If it is illegal, it doesn't feel right.
Okay. It's for this reason that we're bringing in the acting executive chairman of FCCPC, but he will be also trying to see if he can help us out. The federal government has initiated sporadic enforcement raids at multiple supermarkets and markets within the Federal Capital Territory to ensure adherence to price display and quantity regulations, aiming, my prompter person is sleeping, aiming to, let's see where I am right now. So to reduce the cost of food commodities nationwide. So we're going to be having us right now, the acting executive vice chairman and chief executive officer of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, to help us out on some of these questions. But first, I'm told we have a phone call. Good morning. Thanks for calling. You're live. We lost that call. All right, let me bring in our guest. Good morning, sir. Are you there? Hello, sir. Are you there? Dr. Adamu? Okay, I'm sure. Okay, you want to say something?
I wanted to say that.
Okay, he's here already. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Okay, we're still having connection issues. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that Nigerians are not the only ones that misbehave in other countries. It doesn't mean that you come to their own country and disenfranchise them because they misbehave. That's their country. So you can put your rules and determine who comes in and who doesn't, but you don't disenfranchise based on nationality. That's one. The first time I was defrauded in Dubai, there were Iranians and Chinese people that defrauded me. In Dubai, first experience I went there, they defrauded me of my money. It wasn't funny. I don't even want to mention the amount.
You didn't record. You didn't go viral with the matter now. You kept it. It was Nigeria that did it, defrauded you now. Put your social media. Say,
I had not joined the show when I went to Dubai the first time, yes. And they were not Nigerians that did that to me. It doesn't matter. People will be criminals from different nationalities, and those criminals should be fished out and handled as criminals. Whether you have bought the land in the country, there are rules of engagement in every country. And if this is not illegal in our constitution, then I will ask our lawmakers, what are they thinking of? What are they doing? How are they protecting the Nigerians? We've had issues across multinationals where they come into this country and they maltreat Nigerian workers, and nobody's doing anything about it. NLC that's supposed to be carrying placard to protect Nigerian workers will not focus on that. We have people who are working back to back in factories. They have no health care, no insurance, nothing, and they are being paid meager salaries, sometimes less than minimum wage. And NLC is not doing anything about it. They have eating or beating more than they can chew with this case. As far as I'm concerned, if these people do not say anything, we are going to follow this up. It's not done in our country. We will not try it in their own country.
When it comes to matters like this, Nigerians
very
it just comes up.
When Chimamanda Adichie talks about the danger of a single story, it's things like this. So I know, even from reading the story, I could tell that something had happened, right? In all fairness. But when you make an issue like this, and entirely about a race or a people or nationality, then it's even if you were to take it to the International Court of Justice, it is blatantly wrong, right? We have Nigerians who do us proud. We just took the story of Tunde Onakoya, who is doing us proud. And even when people say, oh, we have Yahoo boys, we have people who commit crimes in Nigeria, regardless, there are people who do us proud in this country. And so looping everybody in and saying, oh, we don't allow Nigerians into a place that is a retail store. It's not like it's an estate for where people live and you have to have. It's supposed to be a public space in the first place. It's
okay,
really
so I have a story here from, says that, a message here. It says, a great topic, the Chinese shop discrimination story should open our focus on restaurants that admit Nigerians, but treat Nigerians like second-class customers. It is racism, pure and simple. I've observed this in Indian and Arab restaurants in Lagos. I won't say who said it because I don't think he wants his name out there. But yeah.
But we've had a restaurant, Morayo. There was a restaurant in Lagos that discriminated against Nigerians. You know, sometimes when you don't deal, when precedents have happened and you did not deal with it.
Public display, show them.
Yes, public show off. I know they agree this kind of thing. In Nigeria, we have, as a people, unconsciously celebrated white skin to the detriment of our own people. And we cannot say sit here and do like it's not a reality.
It is.
You would, a Oyinbo person would drive past and they would disobey, and the security personnel are not as stringent on them as they are with us. They have more security personnel protecting them than the average citizen. So we have done some things to make them feel like this country favors them, this country allows them. The kind of things that they will not do in their own country, they will come in here. And they are coming in from the airport. Okay, somebody will come and hold them and take them past immigration. What the kind of thing that cannot be done in any way where they are coming from. So as a country, we cannot play service and be vibrating on this table. Like say we know, say our own people are also doing exactly the same thing, encouraging them to feel above the law. So if we are going to call out somebody, we will call out, I cannot control this, I'll control myself. We will call out what we are doing and then we would work on it.
Let me bring in the acting executive vice chairman. He's been with us, right? The chief executive officer of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. So it's the consumer protection we're looking for right now. Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, thanks for joining us, sir.
My pleasure always.
So there's quite a bit of things we'd like to discuss with you. Issue of pricing of goods and services, protecting our rights as consumers, and then the new story we're dealing with, the fact that in this story, there's a man alleging that a Chinese store was restricting Nigerians from gaining access into a store in Abuja. In that situation, what do you make of this, and how do you think your commission can help to redress this?
Yes, we have already decided that we are going into that investigation. We want to go and find out what's actually going on, and if there's anything like that, we give Nigerians all the assurances that we would go ahead and investigate, and the law will take its course. There is no way such a practice can take place in this country and we would just sit aloof and allow them to continue. It cannot go on, and we give our assurance that when we find out what's actually going on, we find them liable, something will be done.
Sir, is there a place in the law that makes this illegal in the first place? Is it there?
Did you get that, sir? Did you get the question, Dr. Abdullahi? Hello, sir.
I can hear you, but there's a lot of noise in the background.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you very clearly. My colleague just asked you a question. Let me let her go again.
Yes, I said, is there a place in the law that makes this illegal, this action illegal?
Okay, he's having... Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
This practice is legal because you cannot stop people from going to a supermarket to shop. You cannot stop people from going into a restaurant to eat and say that only a certain group of people, non-Nigerians, can enter that restaurant or that shopping complex. So that's why I give you assurance, as I said earlier, that we'll go and investigate. And if by any chance we found out that this is what the practice is, we'll make sure that we break it or seal the shop and disallow them to continue doing that practice. It's not going to be possible. We can't allow it.
All right, so I wanted to ask a question, sir. I'm very well aware, we are very well aware that right now your commission is actively poised to continue the process of ensuring that businesses are actually keeping to fair pricing across board. But my question now is, how do we sustainably ensure that price monitoring and investigation for compliance is happening across board, not just in Abuja, but in different states of the Federation? And how can we do this in real time? Because you agree with me, it might be cumbersome to just be sending operatives across the streets to go, manually, I mean, by legwork. Is there a way that we can employ a real-time monitoring when it comes to ensuring compliance for fair pricing?
Yes, there is a price monitoring index that's coming up. That's over and above the one that the NBS gives us on a weekly basis. This one will be real life, and it will be domiciled by the Bank of Industry. This is a project that we have been working on over the past couple of months, and it will go live as from this week. That will monitor live prices across markets in the country, both formal and informal. But then beyond that, we have offices in like 6 of the geopolitical zones of the country. In Oshogbo for the southwest, in Oka for the southeast, in Port Harcourt for the south-south, in Katsina for the northwest, Bauchi for the northeast, and Minna for the north-central. In addition, we have offices also in Lagos and in Kano. But then our law also tells us to work with other regulatory agencies, start going to MOUs with them and work together. Right this week, La COSPA is coming to see us, and we would go into an MOU and start working together at that Lagos axis that we are talking about. We have already identified the supermarkets and the informal market that we intend to go into, and that thing would take off like yesterday. In the same manner, we are in talks with the Kano State Consumer Protection Agency, also to see how we can go ahead and get that Kano axis also in the loop. We have an automated system that people can lodge their complaints, and we have been encouraging them through all sorts of media that people should come and lodge their complaints to us whenever they see such practices happening, especially to do with false, misleading, or deceptive practices by both shops and markets. And most of the things you see us doing are really based on information that we gather from people that are coming to complain to us. The raids that you have seen happening in the supermarkets right here in Abuja are something that will continue also into the hinterland. Today, over the weekend, we were in Masaka, and today we want to be in Gosa. That's a market around on the way to the airport. Over the weekend and into next week, we intend to be in both Taraba and Benue states, so that we can find out also from the farmers and from the markets in the hinterland such issues that are going on, so that we can now find out at what prices these goods leave those places and why things are so expensive, especially in this headquarters or the urban areas. So that's what the Commission is doing at the moment, and we give our assurance that we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll find out what's going on and we would address it.
All right, let me go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter of
Pricing.
pricing. We have our guest with us. Togo had a question. Go ahead, please.
So, sir, I wanted to ask you, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, I wanted to ask you specifically about what exactly, this raids taking place, what information did you get, did your agency get, so that people watching can know what they are looking out for before that they can report specifically? On what basis did you, what was the information that was given to you that made you go ahead with the raid? What were the comparison? And how can we as citizens, because you said we should come and inform you, what should we inform you of?
Okay, it is expected that if you go to a supermarket, you go to a shelf, you decide to buy something from that supermarket, the prices should be displayed on that shelf. So people who go to the supermarkets find prices displayed on the shelf, and by the time they go to the counter to pay, the price is different. That is deceptive, false, and misleading. And it's not a practice that we are going to endure. So we have, based on that, raids on supermarkets here in Abuja. We started with one major one in which we confirmed by ourselves that this was going on. We found out that 3 kuli that are of the same brand, of the same weight, but when we got to the counter, instead of the price displayed, which was 700 naira, we found the same product selling for 700 naira, for 900 naira, another for 1,100, same product. So of course that is not acceptable. And we, after showing the shop how they have done wrong, now went ahead, sealed. But along the way, we also discussed with them that we are going to keep monitoring them for the next 3 months. On a weekly basis, we go there and ensure that they are doing the right thing. And so far, they have complied over 97% of what's needed. But more importantly, that has sent the message clearly to other supermarkets that they shouldn't indulge in such practices. We hitherto had supermarkets that don't even display prices at all. It's when you pick a product that you go to the counter, and then the counter will tell you what price that thing is. That is not the best of practices, because it means that you are at the mercy of the store owner to decide what a product will cost. And the one that we did only last week, we uncovered something that we now felt so bad about. There are some companies that have gone comatose from 2018, 2019. I'm talking of Stallion and Caprice. This product shouldn't be, their product shouldn't be in the market as of now. But we found out that these people were selling bags of rice, Stallion rice and Caprice. So we went ahead and wanted to find out from them, is it that these products were there from 2018, 2019, or are you being deceptive and getting these bags and bagging your own rice and selling in the name of Stallion because it is a known brand? This is an investigation that's ongoing, but we went ahead and evacuated that supermarket of all those products, at the same time sealed the warehouse so that those products cannot go out to the market again. Also found out imported coffee and other products that the expiry date has been tampered with. We also evacuated that, of course. Went to the pharmacy there, and they have some issues to do with their drugs, which we also went ahead and evacuated. It is only when these supermarkets concede and do what is right, that's when we'll go ahead and allow them to do their business without any form of guidance. But for now, we're going to them and make sure that they do the right thing. If they don't, we'll go ahead and seal. The law allows us to do that. So by the time we go into all this cooperation that we want to do with other agencies that are also charged with consumer protection in this country, the effects would be felt all over the country. For now, we agree that it's just a drop in the ocean. But let's start from somewhere. It sends the message. Once this message is very clear, that there's somebody that's...
Let me get a few more questions in for you, sir. Go ahead, BC.
Okay, I wanted to find out the price metrics that you're using, because I know that the pricing in an open market is usually different from the pricing in supermarkets, because of course they have their buildings, they have overhead costs, the AC is there, they are paying their workers. It's not like you walking in and then having to bargain to purchase. You just come in and you buy. And I'm asking, are you expecting them to have the same price from, with the stores in the open markets to show that they are not, overly increasing their prices? Or you want them to also have an opportunity to increase their price because of the overhead cost, but still make it a bit, reasonable and fair to the consumers?
Okay, what's happening is this. You are talking of things like price gouging now. We have experience during COVID. What really happened was that hand sanitizers and masks, all of a sudden, in one day, you have prices increases 3 or 4 times. So what changed? These are products that you have bought and are already in your store. So this is just because there's demand. So you now decide to just raise the prices. So in this matter too, what's happening is because the dollar kept changing or dollar rate kept rising. So the source took advantage of that, and in a day you would have these increases in prices. So this is a scientific way of finding out all the things. We sit down with them. Of course, while we don't have the core competence, we bring in consultants. Sit down with all the supermarkets and producers, find out the base cost of these products, how much do they come into your store for, and what is your profit margin. Based on that, what did these products come into your supermarket, and at what rate did you buy them? So why would you change the price because the dollar has gone higher and now that has come lower? If you are talking of replacement value, why is it that the prices are not coming down? Why is it still going up? So that's always an argument. And based on that, I give assurance that prices are and must continue to come down. That's what we are working on. It's a scientific thing, and we have to do the calculations and do them right. Businesses are free to do their business, and we are not a price control agency. We are not. We don't control prices. But then we have to make sure that there is a fair playing field so that commodities can now compete amongst each other and each one would find its price rather than distortions in the market based on some speculation that some people are doing here and there. Exactly what we are looking at and trying to find solutions to.
Let me touch on discrimination a bit, because before you came on, we're discussing the fact that some people... Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Dr. Adamu? I think we lost him. Hello, sir. Let me go on a short break and try to get him back. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Still have our guest with us, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi. BC had one more question.
Okay, Dr. Adamu, on this pricing issue, I'm a bit more concerned because we know that in different locations, prices are usually different. For instance, you buy a bottle of Coca-Cola in one place, you go to another place, it's a different amount of money, yet another place, a different amount of money, which is determined by likely the area, the neighborhood that you find this. Now, how do we come to a place where we understand that the pricing is okay based off of that area? Or do we now report them that their prices are different based off of their area?
It is the same thing that happened in the electricity sector, if you have noticed. You have band A, B, C, D, and this is based on the kind of power supply that you get. So in the same manner, yes, areas can decide the amount that you pay for a bottle of Coca-Cola because of the fact that it may cost more for electricity at that location. In the same manner, shops may be more expensive to rent in those locations. There are many factors that come into it. So as I told you earlier, this is a scientific thing that has to be based on reality and based on calculations. Very clear, we don't determine prices. We don't tell people at what cost to sell their products. All we can do is to make sure that there is fair pricing across markets and there is no abuse of any dominant position in case your position is dominant in that market. We make sure that there's fairness in whatever it is that you do. That's where our job ends. We don't determine prices. We don't.
The point of discrimination, because before you came on, we had a comment saying about Nigerians being discriminated against, especially when they enter restaurants. So, for example, you go into an Asian restaurant, you go into an Indian restaurant, or even a Lebanese restaurant, where you come into the place and you're not attended to for different reasons, and many they seem to relegate Nigerians to the background and focus on the foreign nationals to attend to. In that kind of situation, speaking to your assignment as a Consumer Protection Commission, how do you protect Nigerians in these situations where they enter places where they are discriminated against?
We have made it clear from the beginning, and if you go through the records, back in 2022, this same commission did something like this in Lagos, where a restaurant was discriminatory based on which we sealed that restaurant. In the same manner, all we wait for is comments or complaints from various consumers of goods and services. Once we give out that complaint, we go into that and investigate. Once we find anybody culpable, I give you assurance that we have never failed in our duties. We don't shy away from our duties. We do what we are supposed to do. Discrimination is not allowed in any market, and we make sure that we apply the full wrath of the law when such things happen. We don't take it lightly when things happen against our own people. Our essence is to protect consumers, and there is no way we can allow discriminatory practices against our own people in our own country. It will not happen. As I told you earlier, even in the case of the Chinese restaurant that was only reported yesterday, we're already on it. In fact, right now, our operatives, if they are not at that supermarket, they will be on their way there to go and find out what's going on, and if we find them culpable, we'll do what we are supposed to do.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to know what policies does the FCCPC currently have on ground, or policies that you think could be implemented to ensure that we're able to incentivize, number one, new entrants into the market so that we can continue to, have a balance of scale in some sense in terms of competitive pricing, and also to incentivize compliance, because I find that sometimes it's almost like it's only when we take a cane to the horse that the horse starts to move. Are there ways you also think that we can incentivize current market players to ensure earnest and wholehearted compliance with pricing mechanisms?
Okay, one of the things we found out when we did our market surveys, because we didn't go into this thing blindly, we made sure first and foremost that we did surveys and found out what were mitigating factors in this markets at the moment. One of the things we found out is that most product sellers have formed themselves into associations, and these associations more or less fix prices. That is against the law. They have formed themselves into more or less cartels, so that by the time you bring products into the market, even offloading it itself is something that they have to supervise and agree to. Otherwise, you go back with your product. You have to belong to that association, otherwise you cannot sell in that market. So these are eye-openers for us when we went to the market in Masaka, as I said last week, and we really identified that there are associations for all the products in the market, Egg Sellers Association, Yam Sellers Association, what have you. So we have started talking to all these market associations and telling them that what they are doing is against the law. And I give assurances that very soon things have to change, because we have summoned them to our office. They will come, we will sit down and read out the riot act to them and tell them that what they are doing is wrong and it is distorting the market. They must allow new entrants into that market. If you and I now farm our own produce, whether it is poultry or fish, and we try to get in the market to go and sell, they tell you that you have to be in that association or that or the other before you can even go to the market. Meanwhile, that's not allowed. We will not continue to allow that. We'll have to work with the local governments. We'll have to work with the FCT administration and find out how we are going to break those associations. In the same manner, as I said earlier, we are going to markets in Taraba and Benue as a beginning next week. And when we do that and find out such practices also going on, we'll make sure that we go ahead and dissolve and stop those practices. When we come to Lagos too, that's what we do all over the country. That's what we have decided, that's the way out. It's only through allowing new entrants in the market that prices will come down, because these people now dictate prices and will not allow that thing to continue. We give assurance again.
Throw in this question. So let's say, personally, I have bought 3 toothpaste. I won't mention the brand that I found out were fake. I bought it from 3 different supermarkets, and because I've been using that brand for about over 5 years now, I knew it tasted different. And there were consistency, the same taste. So it seems like there's an influx of that particular brand in its fake format in the market. Now I bought that same brand from someone abroad, and the person brought it in, and I found the original taste I was used to before. How do I then ensure that I get value, because I've wasted money buying like 6 of this toothpaste already? And how can I be protected as a consumer to prevent other consumers from falling into that same thing?
I didn't get that. You have to go over it again, please.
Okay, I bought a fake toothpaste. I bought the same toothpaste from 3 different stores in multiple amounts, found out they were all fake. They looked like they were the real things, but they were fake from the taste. And I want to be able to protect myself. How do I report it to you, and how can I prevent other customers from falling into that same place?
Okay, we have an app, first and foremost, that you can go either to supermarket or to Google or App Store and download, or you can go to any of our social media platforms at FCCPC. You can also go to our website, www.fccpc.gov.ng, and you can also report physically to any of our offices nationwide. The zone offices I've already mentioned, plus the state offices in both Lagos and Kano, as well as our head office here on 23 Jimmy Carter Street in Abuja. We take physical complaints too. Our complaint portal is something that we are very proud of. It's something that has been on and up and doing. And once you download that app, or you come into our www.fcc.gov.ng and lodge your complaint, you get an immediate acknowledgement, and your complaint will be looked into, and we make sure that we resolve it. We have kept niche for ourselves over time, and it can only get better, because whenever we get any complaint, we take it very seriously and we pursue it to its logical conclusion.
All right, let me jump in with this question, Dr. Abdullahi. This is our final question for this morning. You said something earlier about Stallion brand for rice. So you're saying that Stallion is no longer in existence, and you still saw the bags in the stores. And we can also compare this to other brands that have, other international brands that have left Nigeria. For example, GSK left the country, and some of their products are still selling. So how do we know the brands that are legitimately supposed to be sold on the shelves? Does your app say that? Aside from reporting brands, does your app or your website gives us information on which brands we shouldn't be seeing on the shelves anymore, at least from Nigeria?
What we are saying is anything that's false, misleading, or deceptive, and you know that it is fake, and you report to us that this thing is fake. We already have an MOU with NAFDAC. NAFDAC is into that space. SON is something that's is an organization that we belong to the same ministry with. We always work together with. So we give these things we take these things very, very seriously. Fake products must not be allowed in this country, and more or less they've taken over. So once you give us the information, we go ahead, and our act gives us the power to go ahead and evacuate. In fact, the issue of the Stallion rice, that's what we did. We evacuated the 97 bags of rice that we found in that supermarket immediately. And whenever we have information of any fake products, what we first of all do is to evacuate those products from that market. And if you have any information, please give it to me now, and I give you assurance we'll go ahead and pursue them, find out where these products are, get to the root of it, and find out who is even manufacturing, seal up the factory, and make sure that it doesn't keep producing and they don't keep misleading and deceiving Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abdullahi. We have to let you go, but we really appreciate you being here this morning to shed light on the pricing, the consumer pricing and protection of Nigerians. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's take a few comments on social media before we run off. I know I had one from Engineer Jibola Tijani. He was saying that, good morning, Mora, it is outright wrong to rubbish Nigerians in our own country, irrespective of what few people are doing. A retail store is a public space for all, and what every supermarket should do is to install CCTV and employ trusted security company to help in protecting their businesses from shoplifters. Imagine some people whose children are dependent on products like allergic products, that due to allergies. Shoplifters exist in every country, and superstores do not discriminate their own people as a result of such menace. So that's a good feedback for many of these stores. Any other one?
Amnam says, all these market association unions are criminals for setting prices. I should be able to sell the produce cheaper or higher. They can't just set the price. Corey Michael says, I think GSK has not entirely exited the Nigerian market. They just stopped manufacturing in Nigeria due to harsh conditions, but still import products.
That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.